Yeah, very. I don't know what else I'm going to say. I'm very disappointed.
What disappointed you the most?
The whole game. We weren't close tonight, obviously. They look like a team that's trying to find their game, a team that's thinking about winning the Stanley Cup. We look like we had a bunch of guys that were half step behind, and we weren't close tonight.
Both Horvat and Pearson talked about your team's ability to battle back in games this year
Mm-hmm.
and how that wasn't there tonight for whatever reason. Why do you think that was?
We didn't play well enough. We had a lot of guys that weren't very good tonight.
Is that preparation? Is that guys mentally not being ready when they get started?
You'd have to ask them. I mean, if they thought it was going to be an easy game coming into play against Colorado, you wouldn't think you'd have to talk about. It's never an easy game for starters in the NHL, but obviously we had a lot of guys that weren't ready to play tonight or didn't play well.
Is it possible guys actually thought because you had a couple of good games at home during the homestand that
I don't know, I don't think so. You got to play well every game. You got to play like it matters every game, and that team was a lot hungrier. They were quicker. We looked slow tonight. We lost a lot of puck battles.
when you got through the first period, what was the message in the room? Because when they came out in the second, it was just more of the same for the first 5 minutes or so of scoring chances and shots for Colorado.
We definitely didn't tell them that they were playing well. I mean, pretty well said exactly what I just said.
How do you, as a coach, move the group on from this? Is it a game where you burn the tape, or do you have to have a
We're never a group that just burns the tape and doesn't. I think there's something to learn from every game, and we got a lot of guys that need to show their character next game and respond with a much better effort. That's for sure.
Travis, obviously your whole group is going to need to respond much better on Saturday, but we talked about specifically they haven't been really going at their best for most of the season. How much onus do you think specifically should be on them to really step up and be the leaders during a tough time like this?
Well, your best players and your leaders definitely need to lead the way in a lot of areas in your game. I mean, it's no secret to that. So,
what are you seeing from them right now?
I don't think they're on top of their game, for sure. I'm not going to get into specifics here. I'm not going to start with names, but we got some guys that need to play a lot better, that's for sure.
How tough do you feel for Thatcher on a night like tonight after how he's played
I do.
this year?
Yeah, felt for him for sure.
All right, we have a couple of Zoom questions here. We'll start with one from Ben Kuzma. Kuz, go ahead.
Travis, when you give up the first goal on 12 of your 14 games and usually a power play marker against you, do you sense that there's a deflation among the team and chasing the game, and that the trickle-down effect is just not good? Or is this
I did tonight for the first time.
Yeah.
I felt that way a little bit.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go next to Thomas Drance. Drance, go ahead.
Travis, Demko stayed in throughout that second period as the game got away from you and was pulled to begin the third. Can you walk us through your thinking on the timing of that decision?
We made the decision with 3 or 4 minutes left in the second that I wouldn't put Halak in cold and get him in, give him some time to warm up in between periods.
With this performance and the one earlier in the year in Buffalo, how do you sort of look at the fact that there's been 2 of 7 road games in which afterwards you'd have to look at it and be pretty disappointed with your group's effort? How do you avoid that becoming a trend?
Play better next game.
Okay, we have time for 2 more here. We'll go to Farhan Lalji.
Travis, just want to ask you about your role in all of this as you see it. When a team falls behind this often, this early, when they don't respond in moments like that after the first period and things of that nature, do you worry at all that they're not hearing you, that your message is being lost in that room?
No, I don't. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about getting our team to get ready to play the next game.
Okay, and lastly, we'll go to Jeff Patterson.
Travis, bad periods are going to happen, and that first period certainly was a bad one. Which was more concerning to you as the coach of this group, the first period or the second one that there really didn't seem to be any change? I think Colorado had the first 5 shots.
We weren't good in the third either, Jeff. So the whole game's concerning. We weren't very good tonight.
you have now said it's 14 games in, and I think at least 3 times after losses, you've talked about the other team being quicker. Is that a hunger thing, or is it roster construct, and do you think that your team isn't fast enough?
I think we have to play on our toes to play effective.